Very good morning, my dear friends. Welcome back to Chandan Logics. You are watching English class. My name is Shyam. My dear friends, in our English syllabus, we have a very small but important topic called conditionals. So we need to focus on this topic for some time because lately have I observed a lot of students are unaware of this topic called conditionals. So yes, in banking exams also, we can expect questions from this topic called conditionals. Basically, the real challenge is to remember the formulae. And you don't have to worry too much about this. There are hardly 3 to 4 types of conditionals. So what exactly is conditionals about? I'll explain it in 2 minutes. It's a very simple topic actually. So I'm telling, I'm talking to my student and I gave him a piece of advice, which is like, if you don't work hard today, tomorrow you will not succeed in your life. See, if you don't work hard today, tomorrow you will not succeed in your life. If you observe this sentence, there is something about condition. Working hard today is the condition. If you don't work hard today, tomorrow you cannot pass. So there is a sense of condition, right? Only if you work hard today. And this is called conditional clause. The clause where there is a condition, that is called conditional clause. That is called conditional clause. And the clause where there is no condition, there is a result, that is called main clause. It's like action reaction. It's like action reaction. So where there is a condition is naturally called conditional clause. And where there is no condition, there is only action, there is only result, that's called main clause. For example, my friend called me yesterday. He wanted some help. He wanted some money urgently. I said, okay, I have no problem. I'll send you the money now. But you have to return to me in a week. This is the condition. He said, okay, Shyam, I promise you, I will return the money in a week. So I have given him the money. There is a condition there. So if you return my money next week only, I will help you today. So there is a sense of condition and there is a sense of result. Action, reaction. So generally conditional clause will have the condition in that. If. The smallest, a very small 2-letter word called if, if. If is a condition. Conditional clause. So you can start the sentence with conditional clause or you can start the sentence with main clause. Both are fine. For example, if you work hard today, you will pass. Reverse. You will pass if you work hard today. See, both are fine, right? Both are fine. See, if you work hard today, you will pass. Reverse. You will pass if you work hard today. So there is a conditional clause and there is a main clause. You can start with conditional clause. You can start with main clause. Now, the only point that you need to remember is, you need to work on the formula. You need to work on the formula. So I will tell you the formula in hardly 2 minutes, and that's going to really give you some good knowledge. The formula is very simple, my dear friends. The formula is very simple, my dear friends. So you have to remember like this, where is a conditional clause and where is a main clause. So generally we talk about types. Most important types are type 1, type 2, type 3. Of course, we also have other types, but most important common types are type 1, type 2, type 3. So generally, my dear friends, type 1 is used for future action, tomorrow, next week, next month. Type 2 is for imagination. Imagination means it cannot happen. And type 3 is called past tense. The action which is already over. The action which is already over. Now you need to understand the formula and practice them, remember them. Conditional clause, main clause. If the conditional clause is in present simple, main clause is in future simple. See? You have to remember. Type 1 conditional, conditional clause, main clause. Type 2 conditional, imagination. Now the formula is V2 and would plus V1. V2 and would plus V1. And in the case of type 3, that is past tense, we use had plus V3 and would have plus V3. Had plus V3, would have plus V3. See how beautiful? That's all, guys. That's all. You don't have to take stress. You don't have to worry too much about it. As of now, remember the formula first. It's like remembering the trigonometry formula, sin square theta plus cos square theta is equal to 1. It's like remembering a plus b whole cube or a plus b whole square, a square plus 2ab plus b square. Like that, the first and foremost step is you remember the formula. V1 will plus V1. V2 would plus V1. Had plus V3 would have plus V3. So first of all, you remember all these three types, guys. Okay. Now you need to understand how the question can come. The question can come in any way. He will give you conditional clause and we have to choose a main clause from the option. Or he will give you main clause and we have to choose conditional clause. Either of the ways. The same question can also come in spotting error. Okay. So first and foremost thing, you need to remember these three types first. After you practice them thoroughly, then we can also go for zero conditional. Very simply, zero conditional is for universal facts, scientific facts. And in the zero conditional, conditional clause and main clause, V1, V1, same. Here also V1, here also V1. That we'll talk about later. Right now you remember this. Now guys, having explained that formula now, can you try the question number 1 which is on the screen? Can you try the question number 1 which is on the screen? So dash, comma. See, when comma is given, it means there is a difference in the clause. So this is dash, comma. The party would have won this time. Can you try the answer, guys? You can expect these questions, this kind of questions, in also mains exam as well. I'm going to give you 20 seconds. Can you try the answer, my dear friends? Yeah, guys. So normal student has to do normal procedure. See, here what is given? Would have plus V3. See, would have 1. So would have plus V3. Now, here, where is that expression would have plus V3? So where is that expression would have plus V3? See, here is would have plus V3. Now, what is the partner? Rabne bana di jodi. Would have plus V3 partner, had plus V3. Now in the option C, where is had plus V3? This is not had plus V3. This is not had plus V3. Now the first option, had plus V3. Third option, maybe had plus V3. But in the third option, there is had been. So now you have two ways. Either you follow had plus V3 or you follow had been. Now you will ask me a question. Shyam sir, in this formula, there is only had plus V3. There is no had been. See, my dear friends, there is a topic called passive voice. I am sure everybody already knows passive voice. If you do not know, you watch my classes. There is a concept called passive voice. So, had is active voice, had been passive voice. Will is active voice, will be passive voice. Would is active voice, would be passive voice. Would have active voice, would have been passive voice. Be to active voice, was or were passive voice. Be one active voice, is am are passive voice. You should know that. I don't have to again write separately on the board the passive voice formula. I am sure already now you know the passive voice formula. So the basic formula is this, but you need to be flexible. You need to have that understanding of the sentence, whether active voice should be used or passive voice should be used. You need to decide that. Nobody will decide it. I cannot decide. You have to decide. Now here, either you use active voice had plus V3 or passive voice had been plus V3. How do you decide that? Based on the structure. What is a subject here? Promise, 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 promise. See, promises don't keep. We have to keep the promises. In Telugu, I will say for your understanding of the Telugu people watching this video, మాట నిలబెట్టుకోదు, మనం మాట నిలబెట్టాలి, అంటే మాట నిలబెట్టుకోవాలి. Like that, promises don't keep. Promises we have to keep, which means promises must be kept. Passive voice, passive voice, passive voice. That is a challenge which usually students find slightly difficult. But don't worry, anything is possible, my dear friends, with practice. And I want you to understand this table first. Practice this table first. If you want, I'll write also. I'll write in red color. Will is active voice. Will be passive voice. Would is active voice. Would be passive voice. Would have active voice. Would have been passive voice. Had active voice. Had been passive voice. V2 active voice. Was or were passive voice. V1 active voice. Is am are passive voice. So now when you see the sentence, you need to make that understanding. You need to make that understanding. What should be used and how it should be used. You need to decide accordingly. You write some running notes or take a screenshot, my dear friends. Okay. So this understanding is important here. This understanding is important. This is called type 1. This is called type 2. And this is called type 3. Okay. Don't worry, dear. If you have still any confusion, relax. Practice will give you confidence. Okay. Try the question number 2, friends. I'm giving you 20 seconds time. Okay, guys. So what is the procedure to get the right answer? See, the sentence started with conditional clause. Sent. Do you know what sent is? V2. So you have to immediately remember the formula. Conditional clause V2, main clause would plus V1. Finish. Finish. Conditional clause V2, main clause would plus V1. Katam. Now options. Where is the option? Would plus V1. Where is the option would plus V1? Here is the option would plus V1. But be careful. Always be careful. This is the formula, but always be careful. If at all there is a necessity to use passive voice, you must be ready to use passive voice. Either this active voice or this passive voice. You have to decide it accordingly, my dear friends. You need to decide it accordingly, my dear friends. You need to decide it accordingly, my dear friends. I'll give you 10 seconds time. Can you try? You are talking about the parcel. So, if you send the parcel in the right time, it would reach. That's all. Fatafat. Here you don't have to use passive voice because parcel only will reach the destination. The courier will reach the destination. The parcel will reach the destination. The courier will reach the destination. Okay. Can you try the third question, my dear friends? Can you try the third question, my dear friends? Only 20 seconds time. Guys, only 20 seconds. Guys, only 20 seconds. Guys, only 20 seconds. If you see this sentence, what is given here? Would plus V1. So immediately remember would plus V1. It belongs to what? This belongs to type 2 conditional. This belongs to type 2 conditional. In the type 2 conditional, in the type 2, main clause is would plus V1, conditional clause V2. Conditional clause V2. But always remember, it can be V2 if it is active voice. If it is passive voice, we use was over. See, look at the options. Here is only were, finish, done. It takes time, but practice it slowly, consistently, patiently. Anything is possible with patience. The mistakes wouldn't happen if you were careful. The mistake wouldn't happen if you were careful. The mistake wouldn't happen if you were careful. The mistake wouldn't happen if you were careful. Okay. Can you try the question number 4? Any doubts you have, let me know, guys. Feel free for any doubts. No hurry. I want you guys to be perfect in this topic. So no hurry, guys. Yes. Dash careful, the mistake would have happened. Now what is the procedure, dear? What is the procedure that you need to follow here? See, would have plus V3. If you observe this would have plus V3. So normally if you observe would have plus V3. This is the main clause. So what is the conditional clause? Had plus V3. What is the conditional clause? Had plus V3. So now find out where is had plus V3. Find out where is had plus V3. I think third option there is no had. Fourth option there is no had. In the first option had, second option had. So what do you think is the answer? Do you think the first option is the right answer or second option is the right answer? First option is the right answer or second option is the right answer? First option is the right answer, second option is the right answer. Normally, some students will make a mistake here, that is, they go for had. But the right answer is second option. But the right answer is second option. The right answer is second option. Because I'll tell you a secret here. The secret is, anytime if there is adjective, listen carefully, focus. If there is any adjective, passive voice should be used. Careful is an adjective. Careful is an adjective. Careful is an adjective. So, my dear friends, we don't use active voice here. We use passive voice here. Careful is an adjective. In the case of adjective, we don't use active voice. We use passive voice. Always remember this formula. I'm writing it separately here. Anytime you have an adjective, passive voice grammar should be used. You write in your running notes. If you are writing some good running notes, make this bullet point. Anytime you have an adjective, we use passive voice. Anytime you have an adjective, we use passive voice. And you need to identify that careful is an adjective. Careful is not a verb. Careful is not a verb. Careful is an adjective. So here, this is the answer. Okay? This is the answer. Okay? You need one more session on phrasal verbs. I'm not sure, Sai. I'm not sure about it, because we have other topics also to discuss. If at all, phrasal verbs is a part of our plan, you will let you know. As of now, I'm not sure. This is a very simple topic, but I still feel some students are not performing well in this topic. That is the reason I want you to focus on this topic. Guys, can you try the question number 5? Can you try question number 5? Question number 5. If the teacher didn't teach well, the students dash. Yes, if the teacher didn't teach well, the students dash. The students dash. If you observe this, now some students will not understand how to go about this. I'm giving you 20 seconds. Can you try, guys? Can you try, guys? Now suddenly, how do you identify this? Where where is this did coming from? What is this, guys? Did plus V1. So what is this did plus V1? It is nothing but V2, right? Simple past tense. How many of you know this? How many of you know this? Did plus V1 is V2, right? So now you need to understand this basic grammar. V2 is equal to did plus V1. Simple past tense. For example, went is equal to did go. Came is equal to did come. Wrote is equal to did write. It is a very basic grammar that you need to know. This is a very, very basic grammar that you need to know. See? This is a very basic grammar that you need to know. When V2 comes, it is nothing but past simple, which means here he has used did teach, which means it is nothing but simple past. Now you remember the basic formula. In the conditional clause, V2, main clause, would plus V1. Where is would plus V1? Where is would plus V1? Where is would plus V1? Second option. It should be negative, would not, yes. Would plus V1. If the teacher didn't teach well, the students would not understand. Please focus. Question number 6. Try this. What dash if you won the lottery? Yes. What dash if you won the lottery? What dash if you won the lottery? So what is the procedure now? What is the procedure now? See, what is already given here? 1. How many of you know 1 is V2? Correct. So now conditional clause V2, main clause would plus V1. Easy. Conditional clause V2, main clause would plus V1. Conditional clause V2, main clause would plus V1. Where is would plus V1? This is would plus V1. Finish. What would you do if you won lottery? Yes, this is imagination. You are right, Sharanya. This is imagination. This is imagination. This is imagination. What would you do if you won the lottery? What would you do if you won the lottery? Okay, chal, next. It is imagination. Very good. Try the question number 7, guys. If she repeats the mistake, she dash. Nice question. Simple but nice question. If she repeats the mistake, she dash. If she repeats the mistake, she dash. Can you try the answer, guys? Guys, can you try the answer? Guys, can you try the answer? Ah, yes, my dear friends. What is given in the sentence here? Repeats. So what is repeat? V1. Okay, V1. So my dear friends, conditional clause V1, always remember main clause. What is the formula for main clause? Will plus V1, correct? Will plus V1. Conditional clause V1, main clause will plus V1. So where is the will plus V1? First option, will plus V1. Correct? Correct? No, wrong. This is how people make mistakes. Understand the meaning of the sentence. If she repeats the mistake, why will she punish again? Somebody will punish her. Correct? For example, if I make the mistake, I will punish? No. Somebody will punish me, which means I will be punished. Passive voice. You remember the passive voice formula here? You have to remember the passive voice formula here. Okay? So, will be punished. Will be punished. Will be plus V3. Will be plus V3. Will be plus V3. Active voice. Oh, no, sorry. Conditional clause V1, main clause will be plus V3 because this part of the sentence is in passive voice. So now the biggest question people ask is, Shyam sir, I am not able to identify that. I am not able to understand which is active voice, which is passive voice, sir. Arey yaar, understand the meaning of the sentence. If she repeats the mistake, she will not punish. Somebody will punish her, which means she will be punished. Passive voice. So this is how you need to understand it. Carefully, carefully, carefully. Can you try the question number 7, guys? Can you try the question number 7? Can you try the question number 7? Yes. Beautiful question. How dash if she doesn't get loan? I'll make a small correction here. This is get. Yes. How dash if she doesn't get loan? How dash if she doesn't get loan? What is the answer? Now the question comes is, sir, I'm not able to understand, sir. Again, where this is coming from, doesn't get. Arey yaar. Do you remember V1? The first type formula, conditional clause. So whenever V1 comes, V1 is present simple. So when we say do or does, then we say do or does. Correct? When we say V1, it is do or does. In a negative sentence, present simple V1 is don't or doesn't. So he is talking about does means he is talking about V1. So what is a partner for V1? What is a jodi? What is a Rabne bana di jodi for V1? Will plus V1. Where is will plus V1? Fourth option. Fatafat. Fourth option. Fatafat. That's the reason I always say no basics. Always no basics. Very often people lack basic skills. So I want you to know the basics properly. Okay? Right. Guys, question number 9. Can you try this? Question number 9. Can you try this? Guys, question number 9. Can you try this? So what is given in the sentence? See what is given in the sentence? Will plus V1. Now it is main clause. Will plus V1 is main clause. So what is a conditional clause? V1. Finish. So will plus V1 is main clause. What is a conditional clause? V1. So where is that V1? This is the V1. Finish. Fatafat. This is the V1. Fatafat. Finish. Fatafat. Yes, my dear friends. What do you think? Easy? Yes or no? Do you find it easy now? Anything is easy, guys. You need practice and patience and focus. You need practice, patience and focus. I'm going to the next question, number 10. See, I told you, no, topic is actually easy. Unnecessarily people take it seriously. Try the question number 10, guys. Wouldn't Katrina find a good career if this movie dash? So wouldn't Katrina find a good career if this movie dash? If this movie dash. So what do you think is the answer, guys? 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 So would plus V1 again. See, would plus V1. So what is a partner? Apne bana di jodi. Would plus V1, V2. Now in the options you need to find where is V2. In the options find where is V2. In the options where is V2. So some people think here is V2. So they go for the second option. No, not at all. You are talking here about negative sentences, my dear friends. If the sentence is negative for the past simple, V2 is past simple. V2 is past simple. If the sentence is negative for past simple, we use did plus V1, isn't it? Did plus V1. So where is did plus V1? C option is did plus V1. 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 How easy this is, how interesting this is, how important this is. What do you think, guys? What do you think, guys? Can you try the question number 11, guys? Can you try the question number 11, guys? Can you try the question number 11, guys? This time I want your answers to be very fast and sharp. Very fast and sharp. Yes. The child's parents would be very happy if he dash. So this is a very simple question, my dear friends. This is a very simple question, my dear friends. See, would. So when you see would immediately or would be immediately, this comes under what? Type 2 conditional. In the type 2 conditional, what is a conditional clause? V2. But in the option, there is no V2, which means we need to use passive voice. In the passive voice, was or were. In the passive voice, was or were. Fourth option is the right answer. The child's parents would be happy if he was found. If you observe, both the clauses are in passive voice. If you observe, both the clauses are in passive voice. Why passive voice? Because happy is an adjective, which is passive voice. Happy is an adjective, so passive voice is needed. Happy is an adjective, so passive voice is needed. And also, here you are talking about the child. So somebody has to find the child. Maybe the child is lost, the child is missing. So somebody has to find the child. The child must be found by somebody. That is also passive voice. That is also passive voice. That is also passive voice. Okay, that is also passive voice. Let us try the question number 12, my dear friends. Let us try the question number 12, my dear friends. Question number 12. Try the question number 12. If I knew about his character, I dash. Can you answer in less than 10 seconds? Guys, are you now able to understand it? Your confidence is fine now? You're able to get it confidently? It's a simple game. If you ask me, conditionals is a simple game. It's like matching exercise, matching. See, new. What is new here? Simple past. So conditional clause, simple past, new. Main clause, would plus V1. Main clause, would plus V1. Where is would plus V1? Where is would plus V1? Where is would plus V1? Here is would plus V1. See? Here is would plus V1. Here is would plus V1. Come on. Why will first option come to you? Check the formula properly. See, there are hardly three formula. There are hardly three formula. So what is the problem here? Why are you people getting confused for a simple thing? The formula is very simple here. Okay? Done. Let us try the question number 13, my dear friends. Let us try the question number 13. Let us try the question number 13. Let us try the question number 13. Yes, my dear friends. If you again observe here, didn't encourage. The moment you see this did, simple past should come to your mind. So conditional clause is in simple past. Now main clause is in would plus V1. Or if at all passive voice has to be used, then we say would be plus V3. Either you use would plus V1 or would be plus V3. Either of the cases. Either we use would plus V1 or would be plus V3. Would be plus V3. That is how we actually take this into consideration. Okay. Now what could come? Very important point to be noted is in all the four options, what is there? Able. Okay. My dear friends, able is an adjective. Able is an adjective. So when we use adjective able, passive voice must be used. When we use able as an adjective, passive voice must be used. So what is passive voice here? Would be is passive voice here. So C option is a right answer. 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 If they didn't encourage her, she wouldn't be able to win. Of course, this is also imaginary case. but the grammar is important here. Okay, guys, this topic is important. Be careful. Okay. Question number 14. Can you try the answer? Question number 14. We will stop at 15th question, guys. We will do 2 more questions. We'll stop at 15th question. I don't want to burden you too much on Sunday, so I'll leave you 10 minutes early on Sundays. Now you will ask me questions, sir. What will we do in those 10 minutes, sir? Why that much of concession? Why so much of discount? Sunday, no? So 10 minutes concession. Okay. Okay. So now, if the minister dash, he won't be able to resolve the issue. So guys, what is here? Won't. Won't be able. Won't be able. My dear friends, what is won't? Won't means what? Will not. Correct? So when you see this expression will not, what type it is? Will comes in which type? Will comes in which type? Type 1. Now in the type 1, what is a partner of will? V1. 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 Now do you remember in the V1, what is the negative used? Either do or does. So either don't or doesn't. Do or does, or don't or doesn't. Either don't or doesn't. See, here don't is there, here doesn't is there. Now you are talking about minister. Minister is he, so we use doesn't. Minister is he, so we use doesn't. Yes, Akila, today evening we have class on Telugu channel. Telugu channel. Like I have said, in a month, at least 2 Sundays, let us not miss, so that consistency can be consistent. Consistency can be consistent. Last question in this session, and I am sure by now you must have been enough confident to handle this topic, conditionals. Of course, in bank exams you can expect this topic, dear. In bank exams also this topic can come, because this is also a part of English syllabus. This is not Latin or French or German. I'm sure the last question is going to be very easy. If the proposal dash, I would start the business. With the proposal dash, I would start the business. With the proposal dash, I would start the business. Guys, with the proposal dash, I would start the business. The proposal dash, I would start the business. Here what is there? Would plus V1. So my dear friends, would plus V1 is what? Main clause. Would plus V1 is called main clause. So what is a conditional clause? V2. What is a conditional clause? V2. So where is V2 in the options? Where is V2 in the options? Where is V2 in the options? So V2 in the options is in the 4th option. Correct? So answer is the 4th option. Correct? No. That's where people make mistakes. That's how people make mistakes. My dear friends, if you observe this carefully, you are talking about proposal. And I'll tell you a secret. Proposal cannot accept. Proposal cannot accept. We must accept the proposal, or someone accepts the proposal. Proposal cannot accept. Proposal can be accepted. So if you observe this part, it should be passive voice. So what is a passive voice for V2? Was over. So where is was over? Second option is the right answer. 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 This is something about conditionals. Don't worry too much about this topic. It is a very simple topic. It is a very easy topic. Unfortunately, majority people, they don't know the importance of the topic. And this topic comes very often in spotting errors also in all competitive exams. So this week, one day, we have a session on banking spotting errors, error detection. And this topic, we will also practice in error detection as well. So for the banking students, this week, out of the 6 days or 7 days, 3 days, I am going to have IBPS PO mock test explanations, because IBPS students are also waiting for the IBPS PO papers. So in the coming week, that is from the Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, from Monday to Sunday, the 7 days, 3 days, you have IBPS PO paper explanations. I will also tell you the days also, Tuesday, Thursday and Saturday. Okay, so Tuesday, Thursday and Saturday, you have IBPS PO mock test explanations. And the other 4 days, you have sessions on topics. Like one session is going to be on spotting error, one session is going to be on sentence completion, one session is going to be again on jumble sentences, like that. In the coming 7 days, 3 days IBPS PO papers, 4 days other topics practice exercises. Okay, have a great day. See you tomorrow.